Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Darren. I hope you're all doing well. And today we're doing another stitch with me. And as you can see, we're working on my Mirabilia, Archangel. This one. And I'm currently working in this wing up here. I thought that's where we'd start off today. I'm hoping the lighting is okay. It's at night time when I'm doing this. I was going to do it in the morning and completely forgot, so I'm hoping there's not going to be too much shadow. So we'll see how long we go for this one. See whether Shane can interrupt us. Shane's not here, he's down at his mum and dad's. So it's Monday here. So he's down at his mum and dad's because I need the car today because I had to go to get my blood test done. I think the shadow is going to be quite bad on this, so I do apologise if the shadow is quite bad. I'll try and keep my hand out as much as I can so it doesn't cast a shadow over it. So yeah, so I needed the car so that I could go and get my blood test done for my cholesterol. So the only way, well, originally his sister was going to take me because it was her idea to have my test on a Monday because her husband doesn't work, so they've got the car, or Shane's niece doesn't work either. So it's like sorted. So I arranged to have it for today, and it turns out that it's the first day back at school for the kids. So, and the times that I've got to be at the doctor's, Shane's sister weren't able to take me. And then her niece, Shane's niece wasn't able to take me because she had a home inspection. So the only way around that one was for Shane to stop down at his mum and dad's last night. Me have the car for today. Come on, where's the hole? So that's what we did. So I took the day off work, which was good because I didn't have to put it as a holiday day. I requested a holiday day because I said I need to have some tests done, and HR said if it's for doctor's appointments you can actually use your sick days, you don't actually need to use your holidays. And so you could have told me this before. I've only worked there 2.5 years. So yeah, so I took the day off, and I was planning on doing a lot of stitching after I've been to the doctor's, because the doctor's appointment you've got to be there, well, they do blood up until 9:30 in the morning. Because it was a fasting one anyway, I needed to be there first thing. So I thought I've got plenty of time, I'm going to do loads of stitching today, and I ended up binge watching programs instead. I won't say binge watching. I watched Hawkeye, the new Marvel series. That was quite good, I enjoyed that. So I watched all the episodes on there. There's only 6, but that's like nearly 5 hours worth of TV. But never mind. And you probably hear the cats meowing. Kitties just come in. It's getting near time for their treats, but they seem to get earlier and earlier all the time. So I'm going to be probably jumping all over the place on here. So this colour's a bit everywhere. I think I really need to get myself another light. I'll start doing these during the day. So if you watch my last Flosstube, you will see a new product that I was trialing. and it seems to be very popular with you guys. I've had a fair few people comment on it. And say it looks like a really good idea. It is a really good product. I'm going to say it makes it a lot easier. I'm going to say it keeps your floss nice and tidy, so they're not everywhere. You don't have the problem of dropping your storage boxes if you've got them bobbinated, which I have done only once or twice. So if you've not seen that, I'm going to say that's on my last update at the end. And there is a giveaway to try the product as well. I'm going to say that seems to be going down very well. So work has picked up a lot. It's got really, really busy. Obviously, I don't know what's coming today. I've not been there, but apparently no one was working on my saw. But 2 people actually volunteered to work on my saw, which is very unlike them, because the guys at work have all got glass backs, as I say. The thing with my saw is it's quite low down, so you have to do a lot of bending. And all of them, when you say, oh, you're going to come and help me, it's like, oh, I can't, my back. And it's like, how do you think I feel? I have a trapped nerve in my back from working there. Well, it's my sciatic nerve, should I say. I also have highly restricted nerves in my shoulders, so bending down all the time, picking wood up, is not easy for me. And I've been stuck on that saw for over 2 years. But they volunteered to do it, and they turned around and said, nah, it's alright, just carry on your own saw. And I was like, really? The boss always insists on my saw working, always. And even he wasn't bothered. So the boss's truck, might as well tell you, is going in for repair. So, I did place a bet that it would only take a couple of weeks for him to break his truck. And obviously he made a liar out of me and it lasted a couple of months. But he's managed it now. So, he put that one in the wrong spot. First of all, he ran into a bollard. Don't ask me how he managed that, but he did. So he ran into a bollard and smashed part of his trailer where they keep all the straps and stuff like that. So he couldn't shut it. So I don't know how he managed that one, but he managed it. That was 2 weeks ago, I think. And then he's moving. You can see what I'm doing. I don't think you can. I think I've moved. And then on Friday, that's why I forgot to tighten it up. He came back, and there was a lot of liquid coming out of his truck when he stopped. So Shane went and had a look, and he's ruptured the fuel tank. Of course, it's not his fault that it's ruptured, because nothing's ever his fault. But yeah, he's managed to rupture the fuel tank. He's still driving around with it, leaking fuel. He's got a rag stuck in the hole while he waits for a new fuel tank. But to be fair, I don't think that one was his. It might not have helped by the fact that he smashed into something the other week with the trailer. But one of the other tanks that are on there, there's a bracket on it apparently, and that's been rubbing onto the fuel tank and it's cut a hole into it. So that one may not be his fault. I may let him off with that one. But still, he needs a new fuel tank now. So we had 2 people off with COVID at work. They are now back at work. Apparently, nowadays, how the new regulations are, it's once you've been isolated for 7 days, you can then return back to work. You don't need to have another test. And I was like, really? So, both the guys are now back at work. Just counting, I do apologise. So yeah, both the guys are now back at work. They come back Wednesday and Thursday. And both of them tested positive still. But apparently it doesn't matter because with the COVID, after 7 days, it still picks up dead COVID cells or something like that in your body. So it still shows that you're positive even though you may not be. So as long as you've not got no symptoms, you're allowed back to work. Well, I was like, okay, did not know that. So they're now back at work. Weather here has been a bit sporadic. So last week it was really hot and muggy. It was like 36 degrees, 37 I think we got up to at one point. But with the humidity, so it was, well, this is where the part I live, was 36 degrees, or 37. And with the humidity, it felt like 42. Now, as you know, I do not have aircon. I only have ceiling fans. So that was a bit of fun, needless to say. And it was like that for 3 days. And then obviously we had a couple of storms through as well because of the high humidity and the heat. So that just made it even more muggier. So at night time that was horrendous to sleep with. And then it's cooled down. So it went from 37 degrees down to 27. So it dropped 10 degrees in one day. And it's been like that ever since. So it's been pretty nice. So I do not mind that at all. And now we're due to warm back up again. This time we're due to get up to, I think it's 35, but without the humidity. So that might be a bit more tolerable, hopefully. And remote times are still going to be actually pretty cool, so I don't mind that at all. As long as it's cool for me to sleep, I don't mind. And then typical, I'm going to say, it's been pretty cool all weekend and cool today, and then go back to work tomorrow and it's like 33 degrees. It's like, thank you very much. It's as if the weather people know. So, as you may be aware, Shane's mum is now at a hospital and she's doing fine. Still haven't heard out when she has to go back to the hospital yet for a checkup or whatever she has to have done, or if she has to have the chemo. I'm sure we'll find out soon enough. But she seems to be doing okay. Right, let's pick another colour. Same thing working from paper patterns is working out what colour you need. So yeah, so again, thank you to everyone who reached out and wished her all the best. A speedy recovery, but she seems to be on the mend. She can't be doing too bad. She was actually cooking today instead of taking it easy, so I'm assuming she's doing okay. Some people have asked how my mum is. So my mum is doing okay. We had a little, well, she had a little incident, which nobody told me about. My mum actually told me. She said, when I found out, she said, did you hear about my hospital visit? I was like, no, why, what have you done now? So apparently, it's her own fault. She even admits it's her fault. So there was some boxes that were from Christmas. So Christmas presents, I think there were chocolates and something like that, I think she said. And they were on the floor, so she could get to them, basically near her drawers. And she's always walked around them. And she came back from the toilet and tripped over them. When she tripped over them, she hit her arm on the chest of drawers and cut it. So because she's on blood thinners, it was bleeding, and it continued bleeding, and then continued bleeding, and nothing they did would stop it. So she ended up at the A&E. So because obviously the COVID up in the UK at the moment, my brothers could only drop her off, and then just told them to ring when she was ready. And she wasn't there long, and they let her out. So they didn't stitch her, they just put some dressings on, and they sent her home, and then arranged for the nurse to come out every day to see to it for her. But it was bleeding for about a week. Every time they took the dressings off, it pulled any kind of scab off, so it started bleeding again. So yes, it was bleeding for about a week, and then it finally started scabbing over. So when I spoke to her on Saturday, she said it finally all scabbed over, and parts of the scabs, you know, it's like when they're ready to come off, they start sticking up. So that's what some of her scabs were like, she says. She says that they need picking. I said, well, don't you pick them? I said, because you'll make yourself bleed again, and then you'll end up back where you started from. So and she's like, oh, I'm not going to. She says, but some of the carers want to pick them. Well, don't let them. So, but other than that little incident, she is doing fine. So she seems to have a lot more to talk about just lately. When I phone her up, I'm only on the phone with her for about an hour. Because she's run out of things to say, and I've run out of things to say. But the last couple of times I've phoned her, we've been on the phone for like an hour and 20 minutes, an hour and a half. And it's like, I really should be going, Mum. It's my bedtime. And she's like, oh, okay. Why, how long have we been on the phone? So yeah, she seems to be getting very talkative just lately. I think it's because my auntie is no longer around, because she always needs to be on the phone with her. So she needs someone to tell her what's going off. So, well, yeah, but she is doing really well. So, I believe I have a couple of questions as well this time, which is good. Oh yeah, well, the first thing is not really a question, really. It's from Sue, who helps me out on my Facebook page. Who said that I mentioned in my last Stitch With Me about the food shortage over here. Yes, Tiger. And she said she'd not heard about the food shortage, and she's sure it won't last long. Well, it's still going on. They're trying the hardest. I think because of all this weird opening up when everyone getting COVID, it's taking longer than what they thought to get back to normality. So some things are starting to come back into the shops, but not a lot. I would have thought the fresh products, like fruit and veg, would have been one of the first, because the farmers have got plenty of that, but that's still hit and miss. Meat is definitely a hit and miss. You go in and there's either some or there's none. But it is getting back to some kind of normality slowly. So the shelves are still fairly empty. We now have toilet paper. So I think I confused someone when I said toilet roll. Oh yeah, it was Sue. I think. No, it wasn't. I can't remember what it was now. I confused someone. I said toilet roll, and I was like, it took them a while to work out I meant toilet paper. But we now have toilet. Every time I've been into a shop, we've had toilet paper there. So that's a good thing for some. I've got plenty, so I'm all right. And she asked how my mum was. So there you go, Sue. I answered that one for you. So the next one is from Louise. I especially enjoyed listening to the birds and the frog as I'm talking away, because as you know, on our last one, there was a frog in the drain pipe chirping away. So she has a couple of questions. So the first one is, does Shane have a hobby? Shane has about 10,000 hobbies and never finishes any of them. Shane's one of these impulse ones. He starts something because he really wants to do it, and then he throws himself into it for about a week, and then he puts it away and never comes out again. So he gets bored of things really, really easily. Unless it's to do with cars, he gets bored really, really easy. So anything, if it consists of him destroying stuff and rebuilding stuff, he's happy. Like cars, tractors, not tractors, lawnmowers. He's happy. But when it comes to other hobbies, yeah, he doesn't hold his attention very long. So he started diamond painting. I think that was probably the longest one he's ever done. He did that for about maybe a month or so, and then stopped. So needless to say, I have a couple of his diamond paintings that need finishing. He tried model building, and then got bored of that one after sticking 3 pieces together. Luckily, these models were ones that used to be my dad's, that we brought over from the UK. So it wasn't too bad. It wasn't any cost to us, really. He has a latchhook rug, which he has done maybe 5 rows on, and that's in the cupboard. That's been there since we come over from the UK as well. So yeah, he doesn't hold a hobby very long. He got into the colouring books. So we've got about 10 different of these colouring books, these adult colouring books, or whatever you call them. So we've got about 10 of them and a cartload of coloured pencils and felt tips, and they're all sat in the drawer. So when the youngest niece comes over, she normally does them. So yeah, so he doesn't stick to hobbies much. I'm going to say, I think if there was a hobby of him rebuilding a car or something like that, he would do that. So normally he's down at his sister's doing stuff like that, because his sister's husband's got a ute that he's redoing up. Saying redoing up, he's been doing it up for ages. So he is always over there tinkering around with that. You just heard noise, and that was Kitty attempting to dig up the sofa. The next part of Louise is what does he think of me stitching? He's not bothered. I gotta say, he's always out. Well, he's 9 out of 10 watching TikTok, because he has no life. TikTok or some form of car restoration thing on YouTube. So he's always watching stuff like that. So while he's doing that, I'm stitching. So keeps himself entertained. And Louise also took the plunge and bought Tiger Family Max Color Supersized. So good luck with that, Louise. You're going to have fun. It's going to be a lifelong project, that's for sure. want to hear more questions. Our next one's from Zan. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. I can't pronounce the surname, so I'm not going to. I apologise. But you know you are. Who asked, do I ever find myself doing a vertical stitch accidentally? Oh yes, many times. So when you come up from the bottom left and go in the top left instead of the top right, do you just stitch over it, or do you stitch over it, or do you from the vertical stitch? It just depends. If it's an easy stitch and I can pull it back out, I will do. If not, I just stitch over it. Because most of mine are on 28 count, it's really easy to just stitch over and you can't see it anyway. But yeah, I often end up doing vertical stitches. But mine is normally doing from the bottom right to top left. It's always that one, and I always end up going from bottom right to top right every time. Never on the other side, it's always on that side. Oh, Tammy said when I mentioned about the food shortage, can I not start growing a garden of vegetables? So we already have a small garden of vegetables growing, but for some reason we don't have much luck with the vegetables over here. We've had a couple of tomatoes, and that's about it. Shane's now worried about ripping the spinach out and regrowing some more spinach. I was like, well, if it didn't grow the first time, well, this will actually be probably the fourth time we've grown spinach. If it hasn't grown any of those times, the next one's not going to grow. But he's going to try it anyway. And I was like, okay. But yeah, all the stuff we planted are peas. We've got peas as well growing in the garden. And I don't think we've had any peas off that yet. Well, I haven't seen him bring any in anyway, put it that way. He planted celery and that just ended up like pieces of string. It just never got thick at all. It was like really skinny. He ate it, but it was just really skinny. So I don't know what happened there, why it didn't go fat. I don't know if that's still in the garden or not. And I'm going to say he feeds it often enough and he waters it all the time. Maybe overwatering it, but he feeds it all the time. So yeah, who knows if I get anything. I wanted to grow potatoes. If you don't mind growing potatoes, they're easy to do, but we haven't grown any of them yet. I think that's all the questions I've got. I've got plenty of screenshots I've taken on my phone that didn't need to. My phone has a habit at the moment of I'll put it down sometimes and it takes a screenshot. So I have no idea why. So yeah, that's lost my needle now. It is. That's all the questions I've got. I'll do another white. So my other mirror, my fairies one, she's going on really well. I'm enjoying working on that one. I haven't decided yet if I'm going to do the 101 skin on this one. It actually takes a lot longer than I thought it would do. I'm enjoying doing it, but I didn't think it would take as long as it has done. I was like, 101 skin won't take long at all. Yep, I was wrong. I'll say I've done a good 3-4 days on that skin. I still haven't finished it yet. But it does look really good. And I did say in my last update that I was doing a blend 1/1 instead of 2/1. I don't know why I said 1/1. I think it was just because it was skin. A couple of people picked up on that one. So yeah, I didn't realise until after I'd uploaded it, and then I was watching it back and I was like, why did I say 1/1 for blended on the skin? Oh well, never mind. No one will notice. And had a couple of people notice, but never mind. But yeah, I think once I've got the skin out of the way, then it should come together pretty good and pretty quickly. And it's large blocks of colour for the dress. I think that'll go pretty quick, I would say. So I'm hoping the bottom half won't take me too long to get done. Famous last words. I'm going to say this linen is a bit different to the linen that I'm doing the Queen of the Fairies on. So this one might be a bit different doing the 1/1 on the skin. But we will see. Anything with this one as well is the threads are so uneven. It's unbelievable. So sometimes you get really fat stitches, sometimes you get really, really skinny ones. It's anything with linen I'm not overly keen on. If it was all even, it won't be too bad. I know the end product still looks good, but I would prefer it if it was all even. Especially because you look at it and you're like, have I missed a hole? And then you're like, no, I've not missed a hole. It's just a really skinny cross. College is going really well. I heard back today about my last assessment on my spreadsheet unit, and I passed that one, so that's all done. So now I just need to find out which my next unit is so I can enroll into that one. That's going really well. So I'll finish that unit a couple of weeks in front. So the thing with the online course, they have set dates when they start them, so I don't know when the next module will start. So I'm assuming this as soon as I can find out which one it is and get enrolled in it, I'll find out, and hopefully I can get in earlier than what it would be. But yeah, I mean, I enjoyed doing the spreadsheet one. I was dreading it. I thought it was going to be a lot harder than it was, and it turned out to be a lot easier than it was. So on the news today, they finally decided they're going to open all the borders to international flights. As from I think it was the 27th of February. So international borders are now opening again. So that is for anyone who is double vaccinated and come into the country. So I'm hoping now that means that we can fly out of the country. I'm hoping so, because then it means I might be able to go home for Christmas and visit everyone. Wrong time of year, I know, since it'll be absolutely freezing in the UK and it'll be red hot over here. But it means I get to stay cool. Method in my madness. So we'll just see now and then see what prices are for flights. Because I know at the moment they're expensive. So with it opening up again and people, well, airlines making their money back, I'm hoping the prices will come down. We know, I don't know if you have it where you are. I know in Australia we have the check-in apps. and this tells you your vaccination status, and you're checking it in shops and restaurants and stuff like that. So if they need to do any kind of contact tracing, they can see who's been there. But they've now told us we no longer need to do that unless we're going into a restaurant, pub, stadium or something, I think. That's the only time we need to check in now. So I was like, thank goodness for that, because it was a pain. So, they still haven't ruled out the masks though. I still don't know why they've got us wearing the masks, but they're waiting to see what happens with relaxing the issue. Well, with all the kids going back to school, they're waiting to see what the results of that are. For some reason, but hopefully they'll get rid of the masks soon as well. I am exempt from wearing the mask because I have asthma, but I still like to wear it I still like to follow the rules, so I still wear it, even though I can't breathe in the thing. So the sooner they say we don't have to wear it again, it'll be even better. It was great when we didn't have to wear it. I love it when you can't find out where you are. I'm hoping I've counted that in the right spot now. Double check. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Getting the hang of this stitching over 2 as well. Obviously I'd never done it until I started on here, but with all the stitching I've done on the other mirror, stitching over 2 is becoming quite easy. Even the counting is not too bad, he says. 1, 2. Apologies if you can hear a noise in the background. I've got Kitty on the side of me giving herself a bath. She's not the quietest of cats when she's cleaning herself. She makes a right racket, especially at night time when she's on the bed. So because it's been pretty cool over the last couple of nights, and with Shane not being here either, I've had all 3 cats on the bed. But when it's cooler, they like to, well, the young'uns like to sleep in between my legs. So I have Ginger and Kitty in between my legs, and then Tiger at the side of me. So it gets a bit hot having 3 cats sprawled on you. It's alright when it's in winter, and you could do with the extra warmth, but when it's not exactly cold, and you've got 3 cats sprawled over you, it's like, oh, get off, it's too hot. The cats are still gecko hunting as well. Every single night, Kitty starts it. Always starts about 6 o'clock. She always starts going and gecko hunting. So it's from one window to the door, to the window, to the door, to the window, to the door. And then all of a sudden you'll hear a great big thud as Tiger or Ginger's jumped up at the door to get a gecko. That's on the outside. So yes, I can't wait until it gets to winter time when the gecko's going into hibernation, and I don't have to worry about getting up every 2 minutes to pick a cat up to chase a gecko up a screen. But saying that, we haven't had as many moths as we normally do. Normally we have absolutely boatload of moths in summertime. We haven't really had any. We had the odd few, but not many compared to what we normally used to get. So I don't know what's happening there. I know the geckos eat the moths, but obviously I'm assuming they won't have had that many moths. And if you just hear that little squeaky noise, that's a gecko. I don't know if the microphone will have picked it up, but if you hear a little squeaky noise, that was a gecko outside. It's quite funny when they go off, when they're in you'll be in the sitting room or something and you'll hear one of the geckos going off and the cats go flying around looking for it. It's like, well, you're not going to find it, it's outside. But they'll go looking anyway because they think it's in the house somewhere. Right, next colour is don't like that one. The thing with this one as well, it's got some of the symbols are the same symbols but opposite direction. So I've done it before where I've picked one up and it's like, nope, it's not that one, I need a different one. I think it's that one. 3. Right. This is where now I hope I've got all the stitches in the right spot because this fills in the gaps. I don't know if anyone's ever noticed as well with Mirabilias, but all the ones I've done so far, the wings on them are absolutely massive. They probably take up, well, so far they've taken up the most time out of any other parts I've stitched. So, I'm going to say on the Queen of the Fairies, obviously she's got 2 huge wings, and I took the full half, top half of the pattern, and those were massive. I was saying this one, he has 2 wings, but this one is the biggest, and then another wing. So hopefully the other wing's not as big. I think it's only a small one, the other one. So, which I'm glad at, because I'm going to say these take up a lot of time. I don't mind. I'm going to enjoy it when it's done. I have a mozzie or something flying around me, so I do apologise. It's not a mozzie, it's a moth. One of them. I'm just saying there's no moths around. I have something attacking my head. Sure, if Kitty wakes up, she'll start getting it. This little, oh, it's not even a moth, it's some kind of fly. I caught it, it's there. Don't know where it is. Dead now. I think it's because I'm in the small bedroom. So my craft room, stroke study. I think it's because I'm in there, and the light in here, I don't know why, it seems to be the brightest light. I don't know if it's because the ceiling's not as high in this room and the light just seemed brighter. But whenever I'm in here with the light on, it always seems to attract more bugs than any of the other ones. Also for the kitchen light attracts the most. But when I'm here on my own, I don't have the kitchen light on unless I go into the kitchen. Whereas because Shane sits outside, he has to have the kitchen light on. So it's on constantly. So I think it was last year we had loads and loads and loads of moths. There were hundreds. There was the most I've ever seen in anywhere. So we got one of those bug catchers and put it outside. I've never seen so many moths in my life. There were thousands of them. And Shane's just sat out there watching his TV, getting bombarded by moths. The cats were loving it. Got another one of those flies again. Yeah, the cats were loving it, chasing all the moths. That took the mind off the geckos. Put that through in the wrong spot. And apparently everywhere's been bombarded by flies at the moment over here. Which I would have thought it would have been mosquitoes with the amount of rain we've had. But now, on the news, it was saying everyone's getting, well, on the radio, everyone's getting bombarded with flies. So I don't know why that is. It's one thing we don't really get a lot of in this house. Is flies. I don't know why. Shane's sister gets thousands of them. But we don't seem to get many. But that's probably because of all the geckos we've got around the house. Luckily they're all on the outside. Every now and then one will sneak in, and then you've got to rescue it from the cat. But 9 out of 10 the geckos are all on the outside, so they just seem to stop everything from coming in, because they like to hang around on the windows, especially if the light's on, because they know the moths and whatever are going to be drawn to it. Kitty must have seen a moth on a gecko on the front door, because she's just walked out of here and started whining. Yeah. I'll stuff that one up. See, every time I go, it's always the right hand side one. I'm gonna get that. I'll just go over it. No, you'll never know. How are we doing for time? 50 minutes. I'll finish this thread and see how we go. We'll probably call it a day after this thread. I don't know if I said it as well, I found out the perfect way of stitching Mirabilias now. So when you start from the middle, you just turn your pattern upside down and stitch when you're working from top down, because your crosses are all going to go the same way still, so it works out ideal. I don't know, I mentioned that, someone mentioned it in my Facebook group, and I never got around to trying it. And then I say, when I started the Queen of the Fairies, I thought, I remembered it after I got halfway through the wing, and I was like, I wonder if it will work. So I turn my piece upside down and the pattern upside down, it worked a treat. So now I can always work from top down instead of having to work my way up, because I hate working up. Even though I'm going to do it now, but I hate working from the bottom up, because obviously you're meant to do your stitches from, well, I think it's easy going your stitches from top to bottom, whereas I go from bottom to top, so always makes them look untidy. When I go from making my way up. Haven't it again? Nope. Okay, we'll go over that one again then. See? Always on the right hand side. Every time. So I haven't done it for ages now, because someone mentioned it, I'm doing it all the time. Right, this part's not the neatest stitching I've ever done on this. Never mind. From a distance, you'll never know. I'm actually, get my teeth in, I'm actually contemplating changing the way I was going to do my year products. So I was going to give like each product like 5 days and whatever. I'm thinking I might change that one to get more progress on certain ones, because obviously because I can only work on them for maybe 2 to 2.5 hours a day after work. I'm only getting like 250 stitches in, so obviously over the year, if I only give each one 5 days, they only give me like 1,000 stitches in each project, so I'm never going to get anything finished. So I'm toying with the idea of changing it and just having a set few projects that I work on mainly, and then the other ones just try to get maybe like 1,000 in them ones, and then just slowly work on other ones to try and get some finished, because otherwise it's going to take me absolutely forever to get any projects finished. So I want to kind of set myself up, if you like, so I get a couple finished this year and then some that are close to finishing for next year, so then I can finish those ones next year, so I've always got something to finish. We'll see. But if I did that, it would mean that you would be seeing like the same projects most of the time. So you have to let me know what you think. Are you bothered if you see the same projects week after week? Or would you prefer to have it all mixed up and just stitch what I'm doing at the moment? So you'll have to let me know. One product I'm actually thinking of scrapping. I haven't decided yet. I'm trying to see if I can get it recharted. Because the symbols are not overly brilliant on it. Which is the Pumpkin Party. So the symbol's not overly great. So I want to see if I can get it recharted. I've got a software, obviously, program. Sneak in. So, oh yeah, got that one out. So I want to see if I can get that recharted, so then I can print a pattern keeper, or at least print it off so it's clearer. So then I can mark off where I am. I had a quick play around the other week on my software program, but I didn't get very far. So we'll see. So I may get rid of that one. I like the piece. It's just the charting's pretty bad on it. Tried importing it into Pattern Keeper. It is a PDF, but it didn't work. It was just horrible. So I think it needs recharting so I can put it in properly. So we'll see. Right, what we had? Almost an hour. That's not too bad then. It went pretty quick. So we'll leave it there. So again, if you have any questions or comments for the Stitch with me, just leave a comment down below, or send me an email. Again, email address is dizzystitcher@gmail.com, or send me a message on Instagram. On there it's just dizzystitcher, and we'll get those answered in the next Stitch with me. So again, thank you very much for your time and my babbling. You lot are suckers for it, and you must like it. You keep coming back. But thank you very much again. Highly appreciated. So enjoy the rest of your week. This should go up on Wednesday, so it'll be midweek. So enjoy the rest of your week. Hope you get plenty of stitching done. So until my next video, which will probably be my update at the weekend, take care, stay safe, happy stitching, and thanks again for watching. Until next time, bye bye for now.